Jamie, hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Uh,
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you too,
Yes.
Jamie. We're so excited to chat to you because obviously, sorry to take you back to that place, but I wanted to hear your thoughts so bad a week or two ago when we had that weird blip on the radar with Dave. What do you think that was all about? I mean, obviously, we heard from Dave and he kind of explained his side of things, but I'd love to hear from your perspective what your take is when it comes to that week where Dave just seemed to kind of check out of the relationship.
Um, Look, it's something I feel like only Dave's going to truly understand because, feelings are complicated and everyone's in a very high pressure environment. So I can't exactly pinpoint how Dave was feeling and what sparked such a reaction. Um, I do believe we really saw Dave has avoidant attachment, which I wish I kind of understood more at the time because that then kind of triggered me to be more anxious. And so obviously I was in complete meltdown mode trying to seek answers, which I think anyone probably would if you assumed everything was, going along just perfectly. And so when I guess was completely blindsided, I panicked. It put more pressure on him as well. But I won't truly understand what the hot and cold was. Only Dave will be able to answer that one.
Have you been able to fully come back from a personal point of view? Have you still been able to be all in with Dave, or have you pulled back slightly as well?
I think it's a tough one. As much as obviously Dave and I decide to move forward, I think there's always that deep-rooted fear that any moment things can flip because I've seen it happen before. And that's unfortunately a really awful feeling to go into a relationship where you're trying to be optimistic and kind of reclaim those feelings that you had and the just like moments of just happiness and everything being so cruisy. Now there's that element of fear wrapped into it.
Well, we saw last night you actually opt to go on a date with someone else. Do you think what you kind of went through with Dave played into that a little bit? Even though you clearly weren't trying to date someone else, do you think that it would have been a very easy no if all that stuff hadn't have happened?
Absolutely. Look, I am human. I make mistakes. Unfortunately, my very real pain was only a few weeks ago. So that was something I was still processing whilst trying to move forward. Like, you don't really have time to have space in the MAFS world. You have to just keep on soldiering on. So unfortunately, I made a decision not in the best headspace. It isn't something that I would have chosen to do a few weeks prior because I would have never risked upsetting Dave. So unfortunately, I let myself down and I made the wrong decision and I let Dave down too.
He seemed to take it pretty well in comparison to Karina, though.
I mean, one, I applaud Dave for his response, but I also, like, when I did consider whether to go or not, I did know Dave and I are both very laid back people. Like, myself and him both have male and female friendships. We've always been really chill. We've never been jealous or anything like that. Like, partner swap, we're like, yay! But with Karina, her values are very different. She considered like sleeping in the same bed as someone else on a challenge, cheating. So she's very black and white. I actually was disappointed Dave didn't go on his date. I was convinced there's like some girl with 6 dollars and Birkenstocks waiting for him, like the complete opposite to me. And I was dying to know what his date was like. So I took it very differently. I had a very different outlook on it. I didn't consider it cheating whatsoever.
Speaking of cheating, sorry to take it back a couple of weeks again, but these rumours will not die down that something happened with Veronica and Dave. Dave shut it down, we believe him, but they just keep popping up and Elliot keeps fueling them on TikTok. Do you think there is any truth to this?
I personally don't believe Dave and Veronica I guess, had any kind of inappropriate relations. Like, I do think she's very keen on Dave, 100%. I think, honestly, at this point, she just wanted to, like, make Dave feel like the world just to kind of manipulate another person to be like, I'm such an amazing person, Elliot is the devil. Like that was just the smear campaign she was going for. So I think Dave was just more like a prop in this. I don't think she was genuinely trying to, take Dave from me. I don't think Dave ever did anything that was inappropriate. Like Dave and I both had a lot of respect for our marriage, and I don't believe he would have done anything silly.
We spoke to TJ a couple of weeks ago, and he revealed, obviously, that you guys had hooked up before the show, and apparently this all played out in front of the cameras. And it seemed like you did the right thing at the time, Jamie. You were very open and honest about it. Dave didn't have a problem about it. Why do you think they didn't show it on the show?
Look, there's obviously so many things that get filmed on the show that don't make it to air. Like most of our filming never makes it to air. And I think considering Dave's best, myself and TJ were able to move forward with no issues, like it was the most least problematic situation to kind of arise. So there wasn't really much point in including that. Plus, I think at that point, they were like the 17th couple that kind of knew each other. So it was sort of really bad on production. So I think they're like, we can just spare this one.
Is there any other connections that any other contestants had that we haven't seen that they've kept off camera? Because like you said, they're building up, like the Cleo and Paul thing. Like there's so many at this point.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna say some other.
Jamie, come on, please, for me.
Sounds like there is.
Come on, Jamie. Come on. You know you want to.
Dave may have been on a date with Sierra 6 years ago.
Really?
Oh, okay. Geez, how small is this country? Honestly, did they acknowledge it at all, or?
Yeah. So Dave had told me prior to, because Sierra had been leaked, and I was like, I don't care if you, had sex with her upon entry. I'm cool. And then Sierra came up to me immediately at the first cocktail party and told me. But it was just so funny because it's like how small the MAFS world is. But again, it wasn't intentional.
Yeah,
they don't ask for lists of people we've been with, so it's just really random how it happens.
It's so mind-blowing, all these
crazy
little connections. Part of me does wish they were acknowledged because I feel like it would have added another layer of drama, but I kind of understand if you acknowledge every connection, you'd need some red string and a board. Like, it's insane at this point.
Oh, my God, we need that. We need that for sure.
It would actually be amazing. I'm picturing that on a wall somewhere and just all the connections. It would be great. CSI MAFS.
Jamie, I will say in all seriousness, you've received, and I hope you feel a lot of support because, even though Dave, doesn't seem like he set out to hurt you, you were hurt and it felt very real. And I think all of us felt for you in that moment. And I just hope you're in a much better place because I can imagine, even though this was filmed a couple of months ago, watching this all again, I'm sure is triggering you at some degree.
Oh, it's absolutely so triggering to watch it back. It's like borderline torturous. Because imagine your worst moments, you have to sit and watch them. Because you do have to watch them because you have to do interviews on them. So you're not escaping it. And then you're just like, I've never been in an experience where you have to watch your heart break back. So that was different. I feel like sometimes it almost feels like it was a movie, but it was very real. And then you have to relive that pain again.
You obviously lived it out at the time, but it was a long time ago as well now, like a couple of months or whatever. So when you're watching it back now, do you get a heads up from anybody, whether it's the producers or people that make the show, to say, this is coming up this week? Or are you literally surprised every time you watch the show?
Oh, we know every week that what was happening. We've all got a pretty good memory, I'd say. That was our lives. So it's oh, yep. After this week's feedback week, yep. After this week is partner talk. You just remember every week that goes on, but you're not going to remember how every dinner party played out. I remember last week, someone asked me prior to watching it, anything to look forward to for this dinner party. I can't even remember that dinner party.
But you also don't know the edit you're going to get. So do they tell you if you're going to get a villain edit, or do you just cop it as you go?
No, they don't tell you. But let me just say this: if you're an asshole and you're doing things that upset people or upset your partner, well, then you're probably not going to look great on TV.
It's a fair point.
That is a great point. I
I think everyone knew who was going to get like a, in quote marks, villain edit based on their behaviour.
Yeah, I think that is a fair call too, and I think we've seen this time and time again with MAFS is people blame it on the edit. Hey, Jamie, I hope you're in a better place with Dave. Like, obviously you can't say too much. I think out of all the couples, you have the most spotlight on you at the moment, and we can't have any spoilers, but I just hope that it's a good outcome and that you're in a happy place.
Thank you. Look, I am happy, and that's the main thing. It's been a hell of a journey, a hell of a ride, but I've made it out alive.
Okay. I hope alive with Dave, and I hope he's managed to step up and do the right thing.
Well, you're going to have to wait and find out.
Okay. Well, just know whatever happens, Jamie, you have so many fans behind you, and we all love you. And honestly, you've just been so amazing to watch so far.
Aww.
And
thank you.
I just want to finish it up with this. If things don't work out, the Daily Mail today is reporting on the guy that stood you up. I don't know if you've given him a second chance, but it's another tattooed tradie from Melbourne.
No. I'm married. I'm a married woman. I'm not falling for temptation twice.
Right answer, Jamie. Right answer. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. I think the experts can you up to that question. I'm not falling for it.
Well, Jamie, it's been awesome chatting to you, and hopefully, fingers crossed, things are managed to stay in a good place with you and Dave, because you've both been amazing to watch.
Thank you so much.
Good on you, Jamie. Thank you very much for that. That was awesome.
No, thanks, guys. You guys are the best.
Oh,
Looking forward
thanks,
to the
Jamie.
TikTok.
You'll be on TikTok later.
Yay. All right, bye.